Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. In the last episode, we spoke with the ferryman for almost the entirety of it, learned a bit more of his philosophy, and discovered that he had something that was like a shard, some sort of like, I got the impression, a miniature version of the canine, that giant pylon, which is in the front of the Devil's Teeth, the entrance to the Black Sea. And when he struck a savage with it, a very difficult, large, heroic-sounding gentleman on their side, who was toying with him during a battle, it killed him outright. This crystal shard had hit him and embedded itself into the abdomen, the lower abdomen of the person who he had hit, which gives us an idea of where it is located if we can figure out where this person is. There is a graveyard located someplace over here, if I recall correctly, that the, savages are guarding. When we were there in a previous run with, I think it was Garrett, we disturbed a few of those graves and discovered specters walking around. Either they're there naturally or they showed up after we began disturbing them. So we're not going to want to just go there immediately. We want a little more information. And to that end, I am hoping that we can talk to Yangwar, I think is his name, who may be able to give this some information to us, but it's going to take several trips to do so. So it won't be something we'll be doing in this episode unless we get extremely lucky, I think. In any case, we still have some more of the Black Sea to explore, and we potentially have some fighting to do, so that's what's the plan in this episode. I do try to consider how many episodes in a row we weren't fighting for, and then add some to break up the good amount of conversation we contain, as the game is really well balanced in the amount of conversation versus combat you have. Hello. Oh, alright, Heartseeker first. Heartseeker first. Okay. Let's just get some distance. I view games like this like a story, which is both has a great narrative to it, but also a good amount of combat described in it. And I want to try to have a balanced approach going forward, where several videos always have, well, not always have, but will have combat in it, or a mixture of combat and dialogue, and others have just dialogue. If we go dialogue heavy for 1 or 2 episodes, I want to offset that with some that's more combat focused. I'm going to set these guys on fire to make them go away, but we will kill them. Good for you two, scattering yourselves. Oh, I forgot all about the Heartbreaker poison. Plasma beam. Perfect. We can heal ourselves. Of course, we can't leave these bodies floating here. We have to clean them up. The main reason, I know I've mentioned it before, I do this viewer, is because although Stig added the option for you to stop yourself from accidentally looting a corpse during combat, which costs you 25 action points and running over to it, and you're nowhere near it to loot it, it's it's instinctive for me to take all this stuff to avoid that occurrence if I am in this area ever again and accidentally click on one of them during combat. The odds of that happening is very slim, but it has happened to me to the point where I don't want it happening again. And we'll drop... Oh! Drop some of this stuff off later. We actually brought apples with me, so we can do a little bit of breaking stuff down right now. Let's see. So if I want to distract humor, the hearts. Can we also do it with this? We can make the leper poison. We'll do that too. Okay, savage territory. I guess we'll make landfall and have a bit of fighting, huh? Sormirburian Andar. This is an old man. Yep. Look how mean he looks. They will run up to you, or as fast as they can with that cane, and try stabbing you with daggers, if I recall correctly. Kriegsfar, ooh, and a Speater. We should try killing the Speater. Because I don't want to have to worry about psychic powers on these guys. We might be netted. Let's activate our shield. I still like pretending that all of our electrical doodads are more of spells that we effectively cast, more sonic powers. I guess to these guys, it is, right? What's the quote? Any technology which is significantly advanced to not be understood by someone is the equivalent of magic, or something to that effect. Can take all this stuff. Oh, he had several daggers on him. Oh, it's just a small little fight. Okay, so let's leave some of the stuff we don't want behind. We don't need any of those serpent skins. I am so glad we brought the apples with us. Thank you again. I forget who mentioned that to me. It was quite some time ago. But thank you for pointing that out. It means that we can carry quite a bit more with us since we're breaking stuff down for their component parts, all the blood and fluids. Okay, so that was not that tough. Jaguar's place must be here. Yep, this is it, I think. No, this is not it. Die, hermit crab. Get some lingua. Right, nothing else here that we can detect. We do have the juicing effect. Let's, No, if I want to scan for secrets, which I might do off-screen quite some time later, I would want to bring my goggles with me for +1 perception, eat the mushroom salad, have the juice going, and then use the marsh honey for a massive, what is it, +6 to my perception score. It's +6 or +5. So Jaguar is this way, then, I think. This is his place. Oh, whoa! Okay. So, we have no place we can birth here. Is that proper term? So, we have to do this fight against these two from here. So, let's go ahead and use a plasma beam. We can then recurrence and move away. Want to drag them closer to me. Oh, but they can't actually reach me. Are there any crossbow guys? No. Place. I just want to get it mapped out as much as we can on our jet ski. Alright. Let's collect a few odds and ends. Oh! There's traps around, if I recall correctly. Or it could be. We'll improve our perception just a bit. There's one. Heartbreaker poison bear traps. Leopard trap. Bear traps. You discovered underwater rock bridge. Oh, holy crap. With +3 perception, 8's enough that we saw this. Where's this lead? A secret stash! Coagulation shot and some antidotes. And 4 rusting acid vials. Those are not useful for us, so those will just stay here. Note that when you discover secrets, you get experience points as well. Something that you do not earn if you are playing in oddity mode. I have come, viewer, to appreciate... I've always appreciated oddity mode for the novelty of it, and how unique it is to play the game that way. And with the recent additions and changes and patches that have occurred for the game, I feel that they're both good ways to play the game now. Whereas before I was dead set on oddity is just worse in every way imaginable than the classic was. But I don't feel that's the case any longer. There's plenty of oddities all over the place now. I do occasionally wish that, like, maybe it kept a tally of how many secrets you found. And after you find, like, 10, you earn an oddity point for finding 10 secrets. Like, there are some achievements like that to help you keep up with classic mode in some instances. Alright, viewer. There are still more traps down here. We'll keep having the honey. Very good. Help me see more of them. And there he is. Okay. Now, something about this encounter in particular we're going to talk about right away. And I'm going to talk a little bit, I'm going to just babble for a little bit, guys, so this might be like 5 or 8 minutes or so. First off, you guys should know by now, or maybe you don't, that I don't like doing a lot of reloading when things don't go my way. We saw that not be the case back when we were first doing the rig and trying to sneak through it, but that was because it was the first time I was ever trying it, and I wanted to see if I could do it stealthily. When it became obvious that it was becoming too much work and I was reloading too many times, I felt that that ruins the idea of the game I'm trying to play. I shouldn't be playing, I don't like playing a game where I'm reloading over and over and over and over and over again, or at the very least not on screen. I wouldn't have minded it so much if I had done it a few times, before, and I gave myself, let's say, 1 reload, because off-screen I would have done it until I was able to figure out what the pattern is. Something akin to the Protectorate base in Core City, where you go in there to try to get the shielding cells for Gorski's group during the raid against the Black Crawlers. That was something that I did a lot of reloading in originally, until I more or less discovered how to do it, and was able to do the timing correctly. That wasn't the case for the rig, but that's because, once again, it was the first time that I had done it. If I was to attempt it another time, now that I have a general idea of what to do, I would give myself 3 reloads, and then I'd have to give up and just do the fighting as we did normally, if we ever play this game again, and we do that section again. Here, for Yanguar, you might remember that the very first time I found him was with Garrett, when he made a comeback, came out of retirement to explore a little more of the things that we might have left behind. And I gave him food, fighting immediately started, I killed him, and I was like, well, that's it, we move on. We're not going to reload. Here, however, I'm going to give myself 2 reloads during the discussion we have with him, because I would like to get the shard, the ethereal torch, and I think he is likely our best bet to tell us where where his compatriot is buried. He might be able to give us some information that will help us figure out which tomb or catacomb or catacomb might be a proper word to say, he is held within, so that we don't have to end up fighting a bunch of spirits, which we can't kill on our character. Now that said, if we mess it up though, viewer, and we do not get that shard, like we don't get the information from him, that's it. In which case, we don't destroy the Shadowlith, we'll just go down to Abyssal Station 0 and solve it as we normally do. Alright. I do this because I want to prep you guys for failure, and if we do fail, I will reload twice. But the third time we fail, if we do, that's it. We're done. We don't get to do it again. Alright. Etterbaron! The man swiftly grabs his spear and assumes a fighting stance. Assume a fighting stance as well. His stance solidifies. His stare sharpens and slices through the air between the two of you. He advances forward, skillfully maintaining his stance and keeping himself well behind the deadly tip of his spear, which is now, in turn, getting dangerously close to your body. We could say the name of the serpent to him, Flotsomir, which is an intelligence check. We have melee, so we might be able to earn his trust if we fight him. I've never tried that before. I wouldn't want to kill him, but maybe this doesn't immediately begin combat. Choosing this option will immediately begin combat with at that point. And I'm pretty sure this means you vulnerable and you're killed. We don't have any intimidate. So I think melee for us. Let's give this a try. Engage in a spear duel. You sidestep to the right and lunge aggressively, attempting to impale him from that side. He catches your spear with an upward swing and deflects it further to the right, leaving you open. You dodge the attack by a hair and seize the opportunity to grasp his spear and pull it further through. He follows your pull, only to kick you in the stomach. Falling backwards, you release his spear, but manage to slap the top of his head with your own weapon, striking with the part of the shaft below the tip. This bloodless exchange lasts for several minutes. It becomes evident that you are equally matched. You feel like your heart is about to give up, that your lungs are going to burst, but judging by your opponent's appearance, he is in no better condition. Okay, so not only... So, we have to have melee for this, and we have to also be using a spear for this. Interesting. You both stare at each other motionlessly. As the atmosphere begins to cool down, you notice a pleasant smell of crab meat being cooked over a steady, calm fire. The sight of it glimmering so succulently is as inviting as the host wasn't during the first moments of your encounter. But even that seems to be changing. The man slowly crouches next to the fire, places his spear at his feet, checks the tender meat. He is still quite cautious of you, but seems at ease enough that you may attempt to approach him. Pat your chest. Tim! Point your finger at him. He observes you with an expressionless countenance. Tim. Me. You? He hesitates. But then he places his hand on his chest and imitates your gesture. Yangwar. Ik. Yangwar. Der. Tim. I'm going to ask now. Do you guys know if there's a translation of their language someplace on the internet? I mean, I could always just go and look, of course. But instinctively, I want to write down all of these words. Like, ik, that means me. Der, that means you. And I want to keep track of this, like I did for the lizard men in the Ultimate Underworld game, as a long time, a century ago, Tim? Was it a century ago? It was like 10 years ago or so. I love learning the languages in other games and then being able to actually read it and know it to the extent that I can just read it when it's in front of me. He returns to his work, producing a few skewers made of bone from the leather sack next to him. He seems focused on food preparation, but he is undoubtedly aware of everything you do. He moves the cooked meat from the fire and places it with fresh skewers. Approach him and stand by the fire with him. He shows no objection to you approaching him. Observe him. Now that you don't have to worry about him driving a spear between your eyes, you can use the aforementioned to observe him at leisure. For instance, only now do you realize that his left forearm and hand are larger than the rest and of a less regular shape than his right. The fingers are thicker and somewhat crooked at the joints, making them less dexterous when doing fire-precise work, such as putting meat on or turning the skewers. And the scales on that arm almost form a sturdy reptilian gauntlet. Almost, as there are a few patches of exposed purple-red flesh. He's part serpent. There are many other details you notice. The tattoo on his chest, the same one you keep seeing around. The numerous bony piercings. The quality leather belt and backpack strap, the loincloth made of material much finer and oddly more elegant than the simple furry greaves he is wearing. Oh, we have some perception because of the marsh honey that we ate. There is in fact plenty of visual conflict in his appearance. For each of his serpentine features, there is an opposing humanizing one, like the way his scales grow around and therefore emphasize his biceps, perhaps the most recognizable symbol of male strength. Or the difference between his cruder, malforming hand and his accurate, if scale-covered, normal one. Even the dominant curved lines of the tattoo are but boxed into the out-linear matrix of his pectoral and abdominal muscles. So everything's accentuating the two. As you finish examining him, so does he finish examining you. Point at him. Yangwar. He's silent. Tim Brave. Tim Smart. Tim Adventurer. Wiggling two fingers to imitate a person's legs. A moment passes. Tim. Etterburn. Du Etterburn. Yangwar. Sombirlian. Yangwar. Scared. Yangwar. Trekker. He mimics your walking fingers. Member of the Sorberian, we've seen Scareders as spear user fighters, has been the title of them when we actually engage them in combat. He picks up his knife, a blade made of bone and painted with blood, and approaches the sand. He starts by drawing waves, then ground above it. Tents soon emerge. People and livestock follow. He draws a doming cavern above it all, and places himself to the left, where the dome meets the water, far away from his tribe. He rests the knife's point on the drawn version of himself and says, Yangwar. Yangwar. That's his chest. So he's like a scout, I suppose. Tim. He points to you, and then the sand. Draw the free drone's base. You pick up a small sharp bone and start by drawing the railway. Then you draw a network of tunnels underneath of it. And then you cram an entire community of stick figures in a few small rooms, with Hutch and Laser guarding the entrance. He observes your drawing with curiosity, then points at Laser. Moo, moo, moo. Moo? No. Woof woof. Woof woof. Ah! Ah! He barks like a dog as his gaze turns southeast. Yes! Bow bow! He barks one more time. Ah! Then turns around to check on his crab meat. Now we have to be careful here. The reason I'm pausing because I'm reading every single one of these. We can still insult him. We're not on permanent friend bonuses with him. If we do end up insulting him, we can come back and give him food to make amends. But you could always accidentally, to my recollection, end up in a fight with him if you provoke him. So we gotta be a little careful about what we talk to him about. Let's point at the dead side crab. Class intent. He points to the sand and then starts reenacting their fight while you keenly observe and try to understand what happened. Intelligence. Observe. He had been sleeping when he heard something. Two bent horns were slowly emerging from the sand, sparks popping in and out of existence between them. Yangwar leaped just in time to dodge the first bolt of electricity, grabbing his spear along the way. He threw it, and the spear passed by the second bolt going in the opposite direction. Both projectiles hit their targets, but only one was lethal. He must have a high strength and a lot of points in the spear throwing, and he must have gotten a crit to kill a freaking side crab with a physical weapon. This also reminds me of a movie called, I believe, Enemy Mine. There was a scene in it. Oh, it would take me too long to explain. But if you know the movie I'm referencing, perhaps you even know the scene in it I am alluding to without giving any more information about. I guess we'll talk about it really quick. There was the base of the movie is that there's a war going on between this one alien race and humans, and one of the human fighters, this is my memory, it's been many, many, many years, decades since I last watched this movie, is on crash lands on a hostile world, and an alien he was fighting shot down crashes also. They end up becoming friends after much after some hostilities, and then having to live on this planet together, they overcome the adversity of hating each other and become friends. In one scene, there's a creature that lives on this planet, and when it attacks, like this tentacle comes out of the ground and begins trying to sense for anything in the area, and it slowly emerges from the sand to hunt, to see it, feel it, air vibrations or something that might be around it. Both me and Yangwar here could be considered to be two opponents working together at this moment to converse, while the conversation about the crab reminds me of that one particular scene from the movie. It took him a moment to recover from the hit, after which he pulled out his knife and used it to make sure the crab doesn't rise again. We'll ask him two more things, and then we'll leave and do something else. I don't know if we should say Flotsam. Let's do it. Flotsam. Forksaw, Flotsam. He looks down and begins drawing in the sand, but the runes and the various other symbols you are unable to comprehend. Perhaps you need to get more familiar with the Surmerbaran culture in order to understand what he's trying to communicate. Okay, so we have to come back for that one. Draw stick figures with blobs on their bodies in the sand. Muties. What do you know about them? He points at the stick figures and spits on them. Slot Baron, hurt the Ragnak bit. He then starts drawing and gesturing. Observe and listen. The weaklings worship another, but another is weak. Instead of giving them strength, like Flotsamir gave to the Somrimbrian, another gave them weakness. Instead of giving them wisdom, he made them dumber than crabs. Instead of giving them perception, he made them senseless. Makarin. Interesting. So I guess their view, so I did not realize this. I thought it was something else entirely different. I thought they just looked down at them with disgust. They view the muties as worshipping, so their bodies are changed in not quite the same way that the Sorumbrians' bodies are changed, but they are changed with cancerous growths all over them, filled with acid leaking from them and so on, thanks to their exposure to the mutagens. And so they believe that that was given to them by a god. And this god makes them weaker as a gift. Interesting. That doesn't, of course, that's not true for the gigantic ones. They are dumber, but I think we're almost killed by some of those giant mutants back in Deep OA. The ones that can spit at you, roar to intimidate you, and do incredible damage with those giant scything arms of theirs. I don't know if I agree that they're weak, but most on the Media Island are weaker. Only one of them is that type of mutant over there. Erase the stick muties, as if pushing them away. Why don't you drive them away? Drive away. Other place. The Serpentborn could slay them at any time, but those who relay Flotsamir's messages say his will is to stay away. They should be left to their great suffering as punishment for their weakness. Oh, okay. Smart. If they were to engage... I mean, we did not see any active mutagen on that island. But if there was some there that might have hurt the Serpentborn, as such, Flotsamir tells them to stay away. Why weaken their warriors by exposing them to that? It might also change their opinion of them, if this was the case, because they would become afflicted by that disease as well. Although perhaps they are immune to it. I do not know. One more thing. Draw the expedition camp in the sand and point at it. What do you know about this? He stares at the drawing but does not appear to recognize anything in it. He does point to the lighthouse, muttering a few unintelligible words to himself before turning to take a look at his crab meat. Okay, something else. He stares at the drawing for a bit longer, but shows no signs of recognizing what it depicts. We should have had some hypercerebrics before we did this. We'll bring some next time. Okay, we will leave him. It's going to be a slow... Well, maybe not too slow, but an eventual revelation as to the location of that gentleman. We have to earn his trust. We also need to understand him a little more. So, we have this area to still explore, and some more water areas. An outpost. Ballistas on that outpost. Oh! Sea serpents. Oh! An actual sea serpent. Not a, yeah, that type. Oh no! Oh god! Oh! We have to kill this. Because that, yeah, look at the durability our jet ski just took. A big, huge hit. We lost 1/4 of the life of it. Okay, wow, we're dying. We have to kill that. We have to get rid of the poison. Oh, that's a shame. Can we... No, we can't use the jet ski. Okay, we heal more. Actually heal. Woo! All right. Woo, that was kind of close. What's our sash do again? Less bio damage, useful for the poisons. Extra damage that helped us win this, and more initiative helped us go first. Something I really like about this game is you do, like in many games that have this type of quality combat, you need to remember that most battles you're in can kill you. Even ones that you don't think could. If you underestimate your opponents, or what they're able to do, and you don't use the things you have in properly, you die. You can die to even simple things. So gotta keep your wits about you. I'm going to go here and dock so that we can repair our jet ski. Although, you know what? I think it can take another hit. So let's go over here. Actually, we could dock here. Let's go here. I think this leads to the graves, and we're going to need to clear out all of the enemies from there anyway. Oh, we left this area in combat, apparently. Oh, I didn't want to kill the civilians last time I was here. Oh, hello! A stealth opponent, an old man who's also a psyker. No action points. We don't have enough to actually zap him. No, we do. We're gonna shield up. sorry. But the only reason I'm actually going to kill you is because of combat. Like, combat doesn't end unless we kill all of you. So we have to kill all of you. Now, this is a new enemy. I've never fought this one before. What does he... Oh, we got another one of those Olivines. Alright, a bunch of stuff. Sorry, so we'll leave some of this in the pot. What did he have on him? 2 daggers. Other daggers from before. We don't need the crossbow. We're going to be fighting on land for a little bit. We don't need crossbow bolts. We don't need these special bolts either. Spirit potions. Restores 80 psi points and then an additional 20 psi each turn for 3 turns. It also puts an unwholesome burden on the mind, reducing will by 3 and resolve by 75% for 10 turns. I don't want any of that. Okay, we have a bunch of things that can get extracted. Rusting acid, but we need chemistry for that. So we do not need that part. That's not a good quality serpent skin. We can't do anything with shrimp. Well, I guess we could hold on to it. It doesn't hurt to have it. Let's process some plants. And then we should also break down those fish. Ah, can't break down the heartbreak poison here. We need to do it at our home. And then we have another blood. More hearts. Here you go. Oh, do I want the staff spear? Intimidation increased by 10 psi points, 1 more 3% crit chance. No, I like my current weapon. When I'm stabbing things with it, I want to stab. I want to do that incredible amount of damage to it. I'm sure the crabs don't mind that I put a bunch of stuff in their home. Let's see. We want the hearts. And the coagulant. Blood. And we can't just use morphine straight up. We need to make a shot with it. Okay. Let's explore the rest of this area. Ooh, tiny bison skull. It's only about 5 centimeters long. 1 oddity point. Taking all their stuff. Holy crap! Was I here before? I must have been here before. This is not stuff I think that they would. Oh, maybe. No, none of this was... The fog of war was over all this. We have not been here before. Wow, 114 greater siphoner leather. We'll take some of that. Bison milk. Holy crap, look at all this stuff. This is great. Alright, we can break down some more of this. Some more of this crap. Yes, no talking. No talking during this. Rusting acid. We do not need that. And plants don't weigh as much as creature bits do. Alright, now where are we going from here? This is D&E, so we'll go this way and explore it. We'll also have some food. Some bison milk. Increases strike by 1 and critical damage bonus of melee weapons and unarmed attacks by 25%. It's a nice thing to find. Oh, what the heck is that? Are we just dead? Wow! Mental note, do not walk over here. That was very unfortunate. All right. Oh. Nope, I want to use a super health hypo. We can get out of that. Oh, come on. We need to use contraction. And we need to use adrenaline, because we need to kill all these guys here, if we can. I don't want to wake this guy up. We have no ability to dodge whatsoever, so we're dead if this guy manages to get us. So we're gonna run down. Oh, that's super bad. That's a guy who can kill us, probably. Yeah, we're dead. We're just dead. I don't know what to do. We can't use morphine. Actually, we can use morphine. And we can throw a fireball here. We did not get the one on fire that I really needed to get on fire. We're probably still doomed. Yeah, we're doomed. We can run out of the room, so we're going to do that. Wow, we would have been dilated and we would have had the morphine affect us negatively. And we'll go back over there, but we'll use our jet ski to clear that area. Wow, that was awful. Thankfully, our rivet was only broken temporarily. Alright, let's charge the shield a little bit. Holy crap. My god. It's a good thing I put the shield on when we walked over there. Alright. It looked like we got hit by a bolo, which that wasn't a net that cracked our ribs. That's interesting. I guess that entangled us as well. Oh, there's a ship here. I hate you. But there is a psychic user somewhere around here who has a very fancy looking staff. Oh! Someone tried to shoot us, and I have no clue where that person shot from. Ooh! Ballista bolt. That's gonna hurt. That could kill us outright if it hits us. Oh, we're outside its range. Oh, that works for me. Oh no! That was the wrong place to go. Woo! Oh! Can't be so long. We don't want to stay there. Our jet ski took a big hit, 110 mechanical damage, but definitely didn't hit me. Nice. Sort of both of them. Clears the beach a little bit better. We can go and dock, and then we can repair our jet ski. Things like you just saw with we walked onto that screen and you get just a snot kicked out of you, is one of the reasons why I will never play this game with an Iron Man mode in mind. Never! Do you guys remember that one random event we had in Core City? So first off, random event, not always there. We walked onto the screen, combat immediately started, we were crit with a electrical crossbow bolt, and then an aim shot crit us right after that. Stuff like that is why I don't do Underrail with an Iron Man. No way. Games just... It takes a lot of skill, knowledge, and... that's what I'm looking for. Experience to handle most of the game. Foreknowledge about what encounters are where and how you have to prepare for them is immensely helpful. But there's also that aspect of luck. And sometimes it kills you. Okay. Let's go back over here again. I'll use... Well, we're going to be in combat when we walk over there, but we'll use Twitch, and we'll use our shield. I don't think anything's directly on the other side of me here. You know, we should have done that. We should have used Twitch when I walked over here. It counteracts the penalty you have when an enemy starts combat on you. There's one crossbow guy left. Oh, holy crap, hello! I don't know what type threw the crossbow. Ow, ow, ow! There's someone here. Through the crossbow? Through the bolo. We're not out of combat yet. Let's have a jumping bean. It's probably just a girl running around screaming. That's exactly what we just witnessed. But there is... Yeah, there's the ballista guy. Sorry, ladies. You're all dead. This is for just immediately trying to kill, like, not even giving me a chance to do anything before your boyfriends and or husbands broke my ribs. Where are you hiding? Ah, unfortunately, only the hero, that's us, gets to zone transition. Okay. Now we get to loot all their corpses. Stick all this stuff in a tent or something. What's in another sack? Bunch of stuff we're probably not going to use. 138 side crab carapace. I don't know if that's better than what we have at home. Okay, so... Oh, we're also almost overburdened, but this is going to get all of this trash put into it. We don't want any of that. I do not need 35 healing salves. You know, I don't need any healing salves. That's not true. Take like 5 of them. Do we want any of this stuff? Wouldn't mind having bison leather. No, we don't. I do like their version of the adrenaline shot, since it improves your, I think, strength and dex, but it lasts. I think the fatigue combined with the damage you take is obviously a worst side effect. Okay, I'm going to extract some hubris again. Ooh, we'll take a look at what that staff does. after we search the rest of these corpses. More bison milk. I can't remember. I think this is the first place we've raided that the Serpentborn hold. I guess we'll take a little more of that back. And viewer, I think we'll probably call it quits at this point too. It feels like, wow, look at all that fish. We'll take all of it. Break down whatever we can and bring this stuff home. Okay. Let's go while the getting's good. When we come back, we can go and visit Yangwar again, and maybe learn a little bit more about him and his people. I'm not planning on wiping out the savages. I don't think it makes sense for me to do so, like, character-wise. It's fun to fight them, but I don't think I want to wipe them out. So we will let most of them live. I just want to clear the way to the tombs so we can explore that and get the shard. Assuming that we're doing this the correct way, that like this is what we're supposed to do. And now that we're back on the ocean. Oh crap, I'm bringing a bunch of other garbage with me. Okay, well we'll leave it someplace. Go up this way. If we see some she cells, we can just leave them in them. There we go. Let me get some free glitter shrooms. Like we, Oh, I see we've been here before. Here's some serpent skins inside that rubble. Alright, no problem. We can leave the bolts behind. I don't want any of that stuff. Don't need the crossbow or their daggers. Oh, this is a spirit staff. This would only be good if we're using thought control, so not for us. Though it could be neat to hold on to one, assuming I don't have one, as a memento. Sure, we'll take one with us. Another successful foray into the Black Sea. Thank goodness we had a super health hypo with us. We could have still lived, but it would have been questionable if the morphine shot we took would have done us in when we zoned. Hey, pirates. I'm so glad I don't have to fight you on the seas. Or off of them, for that matter. Okay. We have nothing to trade. We didn't get any, like, weaponry. It's all just creature bits for future drugs. Which reminds me, we probably should bring a few more jumping beans and focus stims with us the next time we head out there. Viewer, I have a question. Am I the only one who doesn't walk around in the game overburdened all the time? I feel like most people do that. But I always make sure to go back home before that occurs. Because I don't like the combat penalty, I don't like moving slower, and trying to accelerate time doesn't work to my recollection, if you're slowed down. You can't do the speed up the game by X amount. It doesn't affect you, if I recall correctly. Alright, first things first. We go to the dude's home. Hey, dude. I need some juice. Alright, guys. Well, that will do it. I'll do all the standard off-screen stuff off-screen, so resupplying my stuff, selling things to the merchants and so on. So thank you guys for watching. When we come back, we'll head back out to the Black Sea again, I think. And we'll do more... We'll talk to Jaguar some more. We'll choose like 3 or 4 more topics. Fight our way into the tomb, maybe? A little more? Maybe we shouldn't do that. We'll see if there's anything else we can explore in the Black Sea. And if there isn't, then maybe we put away the Black Sea and start heavy duty instead. I'll make up my mind when we come back. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, everyone, and take care.